So, what can I say? Just testing out the new Magic Road scenery pack. It's raining. First time in RGT, had it raining. And it's hitting the road and splashing. Look at that, that's quite cool. So you can see it's one of my, I'm going to try it out. This is one of my local routes I do. Used to do it all the time. Rudge 20. See what it's like. See what it's going to look like going around. See if there's any. I haven't tested this at all for spikes or anything like that. So it might have loads of GPX spikes, but I've downloaded it from Strava, so I'm hoping it'll be fine. See how we go. But you can see I'm starting in Causley, my home village. Little sign. Yeah, see how we get on. 20 bots just to join me on the journey. But yeah, this is released today. New update. It's been streamed by Mike Lister and also Darren Bates. So it's already not new in terms of visibility, but I thought I'd do this track and just see, because I might use it on one of my herd rides. See how we get on. Minute 24, minute 23 to go. Raining here, well, it's not here, it's beautiful and sunny here really, but still. The scenery is not dissimilar to what I see, so it'll be interesting. When I saw Mike Lister's, the clouds were really dark. They look quite light here. It would be amazing if the weather changes. Anyway, I'm not gonna, to be honest, having this pack, if we can have, that's 2 packs now, if we could have another 3 or 4, that would be brilliant, especially if you did like more of a coastal resort one. Sort of European villages, I don't know, towns. Dry arid one. A bit like Pienza in a way, a little bit, maybe a bit more arid, I don't know. Just nice to have the options. I like this one, this looks quite good from what I've seen this morning. Right, so I'm going to get started. I'm hoping, check my power. Yeah, that's all on. Cadence working and heart rate. Let's go. 3 seconds, 2, 1, go. So this is kind of coming from my doorstep, so it'll be interesting to see. I quite like the fact it's just, what I think is really good, it's just it's nice to see it's you haven't got the road markings, quite like that for a change as well. Some hedgerows there at the start, either side. Stop raining now. Bridge. Oh, bridge. Don't have that in Causley, but that's cool. Still cool to see. Do this as well. So you can see a little bit of the change of the camera angle as we go along. Through the trees. This is going up Gaze Hill. Well, not yet. Will be, I think, isn't it? probably going up the little ramp to my mate Rob's while we're going along, past Andy and my mate Rob. That's going down the bend. Oh, that might be a little cheap here. No, no, it's not actually. That's right, that's going up Gaze Hill now. Oh my God, a little bit spiked there, but this is going up Gaze Hill. So it's about right. Might be a little bit steep, but then we go around the bend, and I think we're probably going up towards my mate Gary's house, who I go out cycling with in a minute. Sort of goes up a bit. Here we are. Which is about right. His house is about where that house is, interestingly. There we are. House on the right. Should be going around, maybe going around to the right in a minute. Round here, yeah, little way down to the junction normally, where the Cross Keys pub is. I'd say the Cross Keys probably coming about now-ish, so I cross over the junction normally here, carry on straight down into the village. That's cool. Lost everyone now. I've ploughed on through some houses. It's quite cool. So it's quite sunny on here now. Still going down through Causley now. Probably getting toward close to the Cross Keys pub, which will normally be about on the right. Oh, it's start raining. Puddles on the road. Maybe about nowish for the Cross Keys. Maybe a little bit too soon. It's hard to tell. There is a slight rise in a minute. We go round. Slight rise to the right. Sorry, left, and then we go around to the right. So I don't know when that'll be coming. I think it looks like it might be coming in a minute. Maybe this is it now. Maybe. Little rise goes around, and then to the left, round the steepest bend, to then go past, not far from my mum and dad's old house. This is cool though. I wonder if we get a cold section in here like they had seen on the other roads. few logs, some change of grass and variation in the trees, which is nice. So parents were just back there, they would have been. I think we're now going around to the right by Causey's School, where Causey's School would be, I think, and doing his brief descent. Oh, it's got a bit funny here, the Magic Road. 2 levels, some floating trees, a few floating trees there. I think this goes down. Oh, you know why? Actually, I know why. Because I come back this way. So there's obviously 2 GPXs overlapping. That's right. So around the corner here is a bend by the old rectory, I think that was. Oh, tree floating in the air. Ow! Hit my head on it. There are going to be some abnormalities because there's this part of the road I come back on as well. There is a slight overlap of the 2 GPX routes. Here we are, into Chapman Slade. Should be climbing up into Chapman Slade in a minute. Yeah, you can see the roads overlap. I come back on the same route on this part. Some wacky trees. I would have to go in and alter or change it if I wanted to. There's a few spiky mountains which don't exist. This is the climb up to Chapman Slade now, up to the junction, little climb. Definitely have to do some cleaning up on this, so I was going to use this one. That mounds of dirt there. Be interesting to know what the road's like on the way back. Maybe it's where the tree level is. You can see it's not liking the rendering on this one. Top of this hill, we should be out of the overlap. That was coming up to the, you've gone from the overlap I think now, so I think that's come up into Chapman Slade now, up onto the junction where the telephone box used to be. Now we're going along, because through Chapman Slade it climbs a bit, so we're going along Chapman Slade, shortly be going past Chapman Slade School. We're saying Chapman School's about there-ish. Starts reducing slightly, ever so slightly. There is a cheeky kicker by, I call it the lawnmower place, but on the left hand side. But you can see now the road scenery is back to normal, so overlapping parts there and back does screw around with the magic road, unless you want to it beforehand. Kicker just before we hit the top, where another person, guy I know, Jason Knight, lives. Lane. We've got a nice descent. Make our way down towards Froome before we turn off Froome Market. It's starting to go out towards out of Chapman Slade now. Here we are, just going along past before we just leaving Chapman Slade before we start the descent down towards Froome. Spring showers. There we go. In a minute, not long, we'll be turning off at the bottom of the hill, just before the bottom maybe, to the right, to go along towards Standerwick and Mole Valley and the Froome Market. Yeah, I can see the little rise once you turn it off as well. That's good. Here we go. Turning off right now. Go towards Standerwick. With a little kicker in a minute, which is realistic and accurate, before you sort of descend along to Mole Valley Farmers. There it comes, short little kicker. In a minute we'll be at the top of this. Normally a house on the right hand side. About right angle as well so far. Sorry, yeah, right elevation, not angle. It's about right. And then you crest over it. There's a nice little long road all the way to the Mole Valley and through Market, which at some stage, not yet, will be on the right. And then you come up to the crossroads. I think it's the Bell Pub, where you go right and left at the junction. So normally if you get a good wind along this road, you get some quite quick times, get some quite quick speed up normally. I think one of the Brakes lives along here, Andy Brake, has a farm along here before Mole Valley. Now there is, interesting enough, there is a tunnel at some stage along here. Might be a bit too soon for it, I'm not sure. Still a nice feature though. Gives a bit of variety to the magic roads. Probably very soon now, Mole Valley. As you can see, it's a long nice road, this part. A few little flowers that foxgloves with it out, going past quick, might be. That's a nice bit of variation. A little hedge, box hedge. Oh, looks like we're going on to the cobbled section, which is not what happens in real life, but there's a building on the right, you know, that could almost be Mole Valley. So yeah, there's normally some buildings because of the Mole Valley and the Fruit Market, and then there is a house on the left hand side. Probably completely by chance. And then you do sweep around here to the junction. I'm not sure it quite goes up quite that much for a blip. I think that's a bit of a slight GPX error there. Here we go. There you are. So look, this is the junction where I normally go right and then left. And the Bell Pub is just now on the left hand side. So that's quite cool. Going along here. We are in Standerwick, but it doesn't look like it's identified that. So it's done Causely and Chapman Slade so far. So we're going along now this another road, it's quite a nice road, towards what used to be the full moon at Rudge. So just been to Standerwick and now going along the road to now a house, I think, but it used to be the Full Moon pub at Rudge, where I will take a right hand turn. This might be this little rise past the farm, get up to the pub. Sort of two levels. It goes up once, flattens, and then just ramps up slightly before the pub levels off. You do wonder if there is some intelligent thinking, because there are some buildings here, so wouldn't that be cool if there was some map references to know there's some built up areas? Don't know, Mike from RGT. Here's this little bend, I think. Then I go up again, ever so slightly. There are a few houses in this part. There we go. Now, this is where I go right. Normally the pub's there. Full Moon at Rudge. Down here it sweeps down a bit. A few houses around here, which is correct. And then, nicely sweeping, then it goes round to the left. Kind of goes up ever so slightly. Shortly, at a turning we take to the right, there is an old tin church. So quite a well known tin church in the area. That'll be shortly. That's kind of what used to be the Kicking Donkey. We're probably going past now. The pub on the left, it used to be, or coming up to it. There is a little bit, it's like the road does rise, not massively, but like it is now. And then it go around the corner and level off slightly before you turn right at the church. Yeah, that could be like the Kicking Donkey pub. I don't expect so, but you don't know. Bridge is definitely not here, but still nice. See now. Right, the church is here now on the right. Should be. So let's go around to the right now. And I'm heading towards Westbury Lee and Westbury. So I'm going along this road now. Shortly there'll be a house on the right hand side that used to have a peacock. Proper little GPX dip here coming up. Not sure what that's going to do coming up. That's definitely wrong. From the GPX file anomaly. How does it feel? Yeah. Cool. Quite like it, mind. Nice little bit of anomaly on the GPX file. That might be where the house was, so I'm going around to the right now. The house with the peacock may have been there. It's quite nice because I can picture the road because I've been along it so often. There's one of my short, quick rides. So it's feeling pretty familiar at the moment. In a minute, that rise I think we'll have in a minute. There's one which climb up. Got to remember there's a few rises up to railway bridges, so when you get the rises like this, that's the way to see. There are a few sort of hill climbs, little gentle climbs up to railway bridges, going over them. This is going, these are the roads out off, like near Dilton Marsh and off out that way. So it goes over a couple of the main London line bridges, going from Westbury to London Paddington. So it does have a tendency to rise up a bit, that road here. Yeah, I think that's one of the first ones. You can come up over this bend. This is coming up to a railway. So we're going over the railway. Yeah, this is actually, yeah, it goes off round to the left. Slight descent. And round. In a minute I go over up over another railway bridge over the top. Okay, Westbury. It's not quite there, but we're obviously near as damn it. This is the other railway bridge, I know where this is now. So it climbs up round to the left. Yeah, I suppose we are, because in a minute when we come up to the top of this, not going to be long before we go along some houses on the left, just in sort of on the edge of Dilton Marsh. They say it's Westbury, so I suppose it's in between that. The next climb, in fact in a minute we should go under a railway bridge, and then there's a climb up. No, which one's before? Climb up first, then there's a railway bridge on the outskirts of Dilton Marsh. I can see why they say this is the radius of Westbury there. Either that or I've slightly lost the plot now where I am, but I think it's still kind of obvious. There's normally somewhere along here soon a house, and then some where travellers live on the left hand side. ultimately when we go around to a left it'll be a roundabout, so we're not been to quite a significant left yet. So I'm feeling I've got going past that house and the Travellers now ish. So I think this is going to come up to the brow before the junction, where you can go right to Dilton Marsh or left to in towards Westbury Centre. The thing is not too dissimilar to where I am, because over the way Westbury Whitehall, so I'm all over to the now. Where am I making a significant turn? Let's see here, this might be over the roundabout. Going to the left of the roundabout, but I'm not sure. That might be the first left. It's a difficult one to know. A bit nondescript now, this road, so no real telltale. The only time I do know is you make quite a relatively tight left, and I know I'm pretty much on the road to get towards Westbury railway station, the older council estate. Two roundabouts I tend to go over here as well, so maybe a slight curve might signify that, but oh, more cobbles to break it up. So this is nice, isn't it? It's a bit of sunlight, cobbles to break it up. It's cool. Long may this continue, RGT, and adding texture packs almost, because it does make the magic roads very cool. You can have a bit of variety. Yeah, I've got a feeling I'm going on the outskirts, what I call the new road in Westbury. It was never there when I was young. That might be go around. I don't know. Is that the roundabout? Sweeping round off it? I don't know. With the surgery, I'm thinking about Westbury surgery, the new surgery. I'm not sure if that was it there. The roundabout. Because off the surgery there is a slight little climb, like so like that, until the road goes flat again. Let's see how tight the right hand turn is along here, if there is one. 18 kilometres. Just doing a gentle ride today because I've got a sweep later for the herd. like the rain puddles on the road. So they've got quite cool reflections in them as well, which is good to see. So, going down through Westbury now. It's on the outskirts, it's kind of like the station side, and all out towards Westbury White Horseway. By the old pottery, it's kind of that road going out that way. This might be coming up to the roundabout with the new, it's either a Lidl's and Aldi, I think it's a Lidl's, on the outskirts of Westbury. It might be, I don't quite for sure, but because I think the climb coming up is the one that goes up to the junction where you can turn off towards Earlstoke and Eddington and that way, where the climb is coming. Little climb. This is the roundabout, I reckon. Roundabout before I get up to the roundabout with Aldi's. So I thought, well, that was the roundabout. But, sorry, Lidl's in Westbury. I'm feeling that is the one I need to climb up now. I'm climbing up towards what was the old pottery at the bottom of what I say is the White Horse Road. In a minute. Let's just climb a little bit like this. Little GPX anomaly there. Now, looks, because of the tightness of this bend, looks like we're at the top, the junction. Cemetery is right over, straight across, straight in front of us. When we go around to the right, I have a feeling, because this does gently go up and then it goes up to where I live. So in a minute, just before the rise up, is the turning to the left for Westbury White Horse, and the old pottery house is there on the left. as we go along. Yeah, so this is probably the rise up, little rise up now past the White Horse Junction, rise up this little lip. That's where I used to live on the right in a minute, in Westbury, where I bought a house. It's my first house years ago. It's kind of steep like that, maybe a little bit steep when it is. This bit makes sense. Going along past my house, probably nowish, because then that's right, we go round to the right here, and normally you can turn off to the right to go down to Morrison's, used to be Key Markets, or you can go round to the left and you come up to a roundabout, mini roundabout, which you cross straight over so you won't see it because it's such a small mini roundabout. And then we start going up the hill. Garage must be soon, petrol garage. Aldi's on the right as well. And then when we start rising out, we're going out towards where officers get their commission in Westbury buildings, I think, in a minute. Time to go up there now. Just get quite steep. That was a little anomaly of the GPX there though. Normally about 6% I think all the way up here. Goes up a little bit, yeah, fraction more. It's a fairly steepish climb. And short. So we are going out of Westbury now, on the Warminster Road. What we'll do in a minute is we'll descend down to another mini roundabout. Then there's another little short climb. And then I take a right towards Old Dilton. Goes along here, slight rise again. This is where on the right officers get their commission in the army. Under what is normally a bridge going over the road, saying welcome to Westbury or something. Certainly does at Christmas with the lights. So now we're going to start going down to the mini roundabout at the bottom, where you can turn right and go to Elkin's Ford Garage. This is a short little tasty one. Trying to go up here and take a right is going to be challenging sometimes, so sometimes I nip into the road on the left so I can stop and cross over, because traffic can be quite busy. This is quite a main road towards the Warminster bypass in Warminster. out of Westbury. So should be coming to that junction now, where I normally go in on the left, across a busy road, but yeah, this is it. Take this in to the right, going towards it's like the old Dilton, Lower Dilton. Nice church, very old church down this way. The next dip in the road is where the church is at. Going back out on some country lanes now. Nice, okay to go. What's this say then? This is interesting to see. What does it say? Upton Scudamore. Well, yeah, I suppose it is, because when you start going up, to the left is the road to Upton Scudamore, so it's definitely in that vicinity, so that's cool. This is a little cheeky time. I think this is where one of Harvey's Chapman Slade's school friends are. Yeah, I think that's it. Things like this as well. Flat to the right. And flat off. Yeah, here we are now. It's cheeky like this as well. Flattens off. Some converted barns years ago on the right in a minute, but we're still going past some of the original housing. And now coming along to a barn in a minute. Farm on the left. Just as we start the drop is where they converted the barns on the right. And then we drop down into Old Dilton, I think it is, with a church in a sec. There we go, just come around that corner. Drop down. And there'll be a tightish right bend in a minute. And there, here, yeah, this is a beautiful house here. Lovely house they built here on the left. Then it's the church right on this left-hander on the left. So we're in Lower Dilton or Old Dilton. And now I climb up under a railway bridge. And that's where the turning in a minute, where it's slightly that plateaus off, is where the turning is to the left, right to Scudamore. It's, yeah, I suppose it is as steep as this. Normally I'm out pedaling up here. Having my saddle. And you climb out of Old Dilton all the way up to the main road again, the main Chapman Slade road from Westbury. Just straighten off a little bit. This is where the turning is to Upton Scudamore, to the left. And just carry on gradually climbing up out. Back to the main road. Get to the top of this and then we'll take a turning to the left. This is the last little bit I think now before we go to the left. If I'm right. Yeah, this is turning off to the left now. Back onto the main road. Short streets, sometime on the right soon. Not yet. It's a house right on the junction we've just taken. So we're back on the road now. That takes us on back along to Chapman's Slade. Some quite twisty roads along here in reality. Main road but sharp bends. There's a little bit here. I think there might be a farm or where they have caravans on the right where you can store and stay in a caravan site. Won't be long to the old turn off for Warminster and the old garden centre. There you are, we're coming up to that area of Chapman Slade now, I expect. Is that what it's saying? Yep. Sort of does gently-ish, not as much as this I don't think, climb, and you drop down into yours smoothly. Okay, along the top now. Not be long before we go past Barter's farm on the right, and then the housing estate that was built when I lived with my mum in Causley Lies Green. Oh, bit of rain going into. Sort of going to built up Chapman Slade proper now I live really. It's sort of coming up to that. Because where we go down the hill is where I dive down towards Causley. So Barter's farm's probably about here. Council houses on the right. Then you've got turning off to the left. So we're on this road which joins the junction where I said about the overlap disappearing earlier. So soon we'll be going back and joining the overlap when we go down the hill. Overlap of the two roads because I left and came back over the same part of that road. If that makes sense, I hope. Hello. Yeah. That's right, slightly round the corner, then it goes hopefully to the left in a minute. There we go. So I turn off. This is quite a nice little bit, quick bit. Now going down into Causley in a minute. Brimhill Rise on the right hand side, and yeah, you can see this is where I've overlapped two GPX files. I'm going over the top now. Yep, Brimhill Rise we must have just passed. Nice fast section. Back into Causley here. Here's a turning round there. Normally there's a turning left here which you can go down towards the old mill. Now we're going down towards the old and new rectory, which will be on the left in a minute, so we go around the corner to the right. Here we are, so this is coming near Divers Bridge, so Causley there. Normally the bridge signifies the Chapman Slade Causley. So there we go, so now it's the old rectory will be on the left, new rectory will be just down there on the left. Go around the corner, green triangle normally of the road, and now we're going to head up just down a bit more and then start climbing up to St Margaret's Church and the school again. So must be going over the bridge about now, Divers Bridge, and it's electricity substation or whatever it is on the left, and then we start climbing up towards the church. Let's go quite steep towards the end. I don't know if it goes quite as steep as this, if I'm honest. Now, which way did I go home on this route that time? Makes me think I got to the top of the church and went left rather than retracing my steps right. So maybe I did. The question I don't know the answer to yet. Potentially. It looks like I might go up. I'm trying to remember what the road is now. Up to the main road. Potentially then, looking at the elevation, I'm going up towards Causley House. This might be the turning round by the track off the back entrance. I say the Causley, not Causley House. What's the house by the church called? I can't remember. I think I must have come this way by the looks of the contours. Yeah. So I only slightly overlapped the road. This is the climb up now towards Sandhays and Causley House. It is quite steep. Only time it really properly levels off is when it's near the Froome Warminster main road. 846, can't remember. No, 8361 maybe. Yeah, I did come this way. Interesting, isn't it? Like a forced flat all along up here. You're turning off right to the Park Farm shortly. You go along to Park Cottages, Causley House, main road. Yeah, probably Sandhays now on the left. Cottages on the right. And Causley House soon. Turning left in a minute, it goes on the main road to Warminster. So we're very much in Causley now. Still a Rudge inside went there a few weeks ago. Here we go. Causey House is here anyway, and we're coming on to the left-hand turn. It goes on to the main road here. So this is going sweeping onto the left-hand main road. The main road, a few 100 yards, maybe less than that. There's a turning right into Causey Temple, where I live. There you go. Come around the bend. And turn off in. Cool. Now we're in Causey Temple. Isn't very cool? I don't have a bridge. You see the overlap. And where my road is. Whee. Me? Oh, I know what I was doing. I was making up to 30, just make sure it was going over 20 miles. Well, going down the road, I'm drowning. I've got a feeling, yes, I did. Hence the confusion here. Oh, hey, whoa. Yeah, I was doing all sorts of things, I think, to make up the... Got to remember, that's not a clean GPX file by any stretch of imagination, because I was messing around to make up the mileage. How funny is that? Making sure it's 20 miles. That was all over the place at the end. Oh, very cool. There we go. Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Excellent. Well, there we go. New magic roads with a funny bit at the end because I was messing around. I'm going to go around the triangle, my green triangle as well a few times just to make it up to 20. Brilliant. Thank you. See you later.